Hello everyone and welcome. Today we have a speed build on our hands and this is for the For Rent pack. So this is going to be base game and for rent only, and it is going to be a little, I guess it's not a duplex because it's like kind of on two levels, but it is two apartments in this little apartment complex. So two cute little apartments ready to be rented out once I finish building it, of course. Now don't forget, if you have not subscribed to the channel, I would love it if you could, so hit that subscribe button. It is free, so you can do that at any time, and if you haven't hit the notification bell you could do that too. So what kind of build am I doing? Well, I wanted to do something that had a modern vibe but also fit into Tomarang, and I was very much winging it. So this is a wing it build, so you'll see me fussing around with the outside for, I guess, a reasonable amount of time. And yeah, the roofs are definitely interesting. I was trying something with the roofs and I think it was fun. That came out looking, I think it looked okay in the end, but you'll see it definitely evolves as the build goes on anyway. It is definitely a process when you're working out a build shell particularly. The interior, it sometimes, it depends what you're doing on the interior. If you're trying to figure out like a different trick or a certain style of doing something, you know, then it can be tricky with the decorating side of things as well. But yeah, if you are winging it with the shell, that does add a definite level of difficulty to a build. So I'm starting on the roofing area now. So this is what I am doing. I have hit Shift C to add the extra button to the roof fixturing, to the roof changing around, you know, so that I can get the curve happening. So that's how I did that, Shift C, when I've got the roof selected, and you can get an extra button which allows you to add extra curviness to the build. Now I did think that this side of the building was a bit snore, so I decided to add like a bit of texture to that, and then I decided to reflect that again on the other side around the back as well, just to add like a little bit of interest to the architecture of the build, I guess, rather than just having like, you know, a plain flat wall. I wanted to add something a little bit more. I mean, it does change when you add windows as well. You know, that changes the whole look of the build and definitely makes it look less bland or less plain when you have got like a whole front just going down straight. But in this instance I did have the option to add a little bit more shape to it, so I did. And I'm just adding the roofs because I wanted to shape the roof as well, so I'm just fixing that up and adding all of the little roof shapes in, and it just adds a little bit of interest too. So yeah, coming together I think, slowly but surely. But yeah, I've still got like a little bit of roof left to figure out, and I'm doing like a little bit of a curved roof down the front as well, so you can see that there. So that's coming together. I do need to alter that a little bit just because I put columns underneath, and by the time when you do like the roof curving down like that, unfortunately you can't shrink or I don't know how to anyway, shrink the columns down any further than their sort of lowest base level. So if you put the columns there, they actually stick up through the roof, which is not an ideal situation. So I actually ended up needing to play with the pitch of how that, particularly that bottom roof went, because yeah, it just didn't work with the columns, and I really wanted the columns because it kind of looked weird just like flopping out on its own. It needed the columns. So yeah, sadly I had to lift the pitch of the roof up, but I think it still looked okay, but it wasn't as nice as that with the little wavy curves. But you'll see this, yeah, so you see the column sticking out there at the moment, so I'm just tweaking that and just changing the pitch of it. By changing the pitch of the roof, it did allow me to have the column underneath as I wanted it, so that was cool. And I'm slowly working on the colour of the build. So I knew I wanted to do dark brown. That's kind of the only thing I knew going into the build. And I knew I wanted to do like a little bit with the roofs as well, and just do something interesting with the roofs. So those are the sort of the two vague ideas I had going into the build. And I knew it was going to be 2 apartments. I didn't want to go like super high or super big. It was just, it's a smaller lot, and I thought I didn't want to go too high, because it would just kind of look like a giant stick on the ground, sticking out of the ground, and I don't know, I just didn't want to. I don't know. Yeah, so this is the third part of the wavy roof. So I have 3 wavy roof parts, and once again I had to play around with the pitch of that roof, because at that time I was looking at the column side of things, and then I'm just building like an extra side bit of the roof, but it's going to be like on an angle, because I wanted to match the angle of the little balcony kind of area that I've got down there. That'll kind of evolve as the build goes along, but that was the idea of what I'm doing there, because I wanted to have the roof matching the balcony basically. So what I'm doing by pulling out the roof like that is I'm actually creating it as just one whole roofing section, rather than having like separate roofing sections, because I think sometimes that affects the creations of rooms below if you have the roof over like part of the residential section and stuff. So just be wary of that if you are creating a roof. If you are doing it in lots of bits and pieces, sometimes that can affect the room and how that forms underneath it. So if you can combine the roof together, it stops the whole separate room kind of thing going. And it is slowly coming together. So I'm using the Eco Lifestyle wall slats. So I'm going to just block off that little triangle area, just to add that sort of modern element to it. I will sort of continue to fuss around with this little bit of area here. I was originally going to have them attached, and then it just wasn't quite working. So I decided to have them separate. And I think that ended up working out better. By the time I sort of put like the privacy wall around it, I think that looked much better. I actually went quite high with the fencing on the balcony slash veranda slash deck slash porch, whatever you would like to call it. I just like the look of that with it being a bit higher. I thought it actually looked quite cool, so that's why I went with that. It wasn't a particular like reason. It was just, it looked quite cool. So getting the back area sorted, and just continuing on with the big privacy fence around there. And you can sort of see I'm going white and brown is definitely a vibe that's coming through. I think with the selection of the fencing, that really helped me solidify the whole white and brown kind of vibe that I have going on. I'm just working on the roofing. I'm actually going yellow and doing the dark brown roof trim that came with For Rent. And now I'm just working on my next colour that's going to be coming through. So what am I going to choose? Well, that's a good question. Let's see. Oh, hang on, this isn't limited pack. Oh, it is limited pack, but it isn't just For Rent and Basegame. I think it's like For Rent, Eco Lifestyle. You know, I've been telling lies all this time. It's like For Rent, Eco Lifestyle. It was a couple of packs. I can't remember which ones they are though. But it is definitely limited pack, but I can't remember. It's Island Living and I think Jungle Adventure. I think those are the packs. Possibly one more. But yeah, so Basegame, For Rent, Eco Lifestyle, Island Living and Jungle Adventure. Those are because I did want to try out doing a combo of Island Living and Jungle Adventure, working with the For Rent stuff. So that was on my mind to do that. So that's right. I remember that. I've been doing so much building. I cannot remember what I have done where. Oh boy. So I skipped over a little bit of. I'll be skipping over some of the landscaping stuff here and there, because it did take me a little while just to figure out what I wanted to do with the landscaping. And yes, I am in debug with the landscaping because we didn't get any plants with For Rent, which is a shame, because there's some really good plants in the debug that are absolutely lovely and should be in the game, and I don't know why They're not in the, you know, you shouldn't need to use a cheat to access some of these cool plants and stuff. So yeah, I think that's a shame. But anyway, this little yard is starting to come together. So what I'm going to do in here, I originally put like a fountain. If you can hear stomping, it's my youngest child stomping around. Yeah, so I originally put in a fountain, and I was like, you know what, maybe we could put a pool in that little corner. And then so I put the pool in, and then I put some rocks around it and stuff. So I'm going to skip over, I'll show you a little bit of what I was doing, but yeah, I'll skip over some of that as well. And it just sort of evolved from there, and I ended up not having the fountain in the middle of it after all. So after all that work, put the fountain in, and then like got rid of the fountain and just had the little pool. But I thought the pool looked cute, so I was happy with that. And how it came out, I think having the fountain there was just going to be weird, so my decision to remove it was a good one. I'm happy with that decision at the end of the day. So as you can see, it's coming together, and it's looking very yellow. And don't worry, I will actually be changing that. I just sort of left it and thought on it, because sometimes I do that. I'll put like a colour down and I'll just let it sit there, and I won't actively think about it, but I'll just let my brain just like stare at it as I'm building, and it'll slowly figure it out in the background as I'm building away and thinking about other things. It'll get to the right place eventually. But yeah, that's way too yellow with that tiling down, unfortunately. It's way too much yellow. But as you can see there, we've got the cute windows going in that came with the For Rent pack. I really like the For Rent windows. I think they are definitely specialised to certain kinds of builds, and certainly the Tomarang area. I think you could obviously use that in Salvadorada and also Solani. I think those windows would suit those areas as well. But yeah, I think they're specialised windows. Some of them I think you could use more than others, but they are absolutely lovely. I really like them. The doors, the doors could have been better. I don't mind that it's like a wide one with like the steel slider over the top. That I don't mind. I think that's quite pretty. But I don't love the door with the little thing over the top, the one that I've used. I don't love it. It's okay, but I don't love it, you know. But you know, can you love a door? Yes, you can love a door. I love a door. There's the door in the industrial loft kit that I love. So yes, you can love a door. So just doing the front door little area, just doing like a bench and plant and like shoes, so you can take your shoes off on the outside, and just adding some benches to the porch area around the side, so there's like little seating. And then moving around the back, I'm just going to add in like a barbecue and seating and like the spirit house. So that's a spirit house there. You can add the incense and the fruit, and I don't know exactly what it's supposed to do. I think it's supposed to attract ghosts, but I was playing around with it for ages, like about 3 or 4 nights of gameplay, and I was adding incense, I was adding fruit, and nothing happened. So I'm not 100% sure exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to do something. I know it's part of the Tomarang, the location aspiration that you need to do as part, like Tomarang Insider or something like that. So yeah, I know it's definitely part of that aspiration, but otherwise what it actually functionally does, I'm not 100%. But yeah, I think it says something about spirits or ghosts or something like that, so I assume that's what it's supposed to do. But yeah, no proof of it as yet. No proof. So we are progressing with the interior. I'm starting to get the floor layout and how that's going to go. So I did the decent sized shared areas for this, because I wanted to have decent sized shared areas, and that's actually quite a bit of a tongue twister, that. And the exterior is about to change, so this is where I make my decision on what colours I'm going to do in the exterior. So I've just switched the yellow tile for the white tile with like the little spaces in between, which I think is super cute. And the other day when I was streaming or building or doing something, I discovered that the For Rent pack has like a little bar back, which is really cool. So I am currently trying to find it and failing. It just, the search wasn't coming up right. Like, I tried the search again today and it came up just fine under back. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I found this bar back and I was like, oh, that's lovely. I want to use that. And then I was trying to put it in the downstairs area and it just like, it wasn't fitting in the space. But then I thought, well, why not have like a bar upstairs? So I put it in the upstairs shed area and I was like, perfect. So there is a cute little bar in the upstairs area with the bar back, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. So if you haven't seen the little bar back that comes with the For Rent pack, it is absolutely lovely, and I recommend go take a look at it if you've got the pack to have a squiz, because it's got all sorts of like lovely little decorations and stuff on it. It's actually probably one of my favorite pieces from the pack now that I know that it's there. I'm so bad at exploring packs, I really am. Sometimes I just find things and I'm like, whoa, how long's that been there? And yeah, it turns out it's been there for years because I just haven't noticed it. You know, sometimes we get too stuck in our lanes, don't we? So in the downstairs shed area, I'm just doing a pretty basic coffee, TV, couch kind of living area, so that I can hang out, have a cup of coffee, have a drink, have a chitty chat. Oh, and I put like a games table and a little dining table in the corner as well. So yeah, there's like lots of space to do chitty chats and have a good time, or have a nice drink, or even like have a snack somehow if you have it already in your inventory. I'm just changing the windows over because they were a little bit too big, so I'm changing it to the small sort of filigree patterned kind of windows, however you want to describe those. I'm not quite, filigree is not quite the right word, but I'm not quite sure what the right word is. Sometimes I just don't have the words to describe what I'm trying to describe. Anyway, so I'm just going to put like the little games table in there, and it's going to be a 3-seater because that fit better. And I'm thinking I'm just going to put like a couple more couches and do like a little hall area. I realized eventually that I actually had two door entrances to the first apartment. It took me a while because yeah, I didn't actually, I don't know, I forgot that I put like a second door around the back of the stairs, and then yeah, so I did all the hall area. So I decorated all of this, and then after I finished decorating it, I realized that I didn't actually need that door there, and so I deleted that door and just tweaked the whole area. But yeah, sometimes my noticing skills, eh? And then yes, there we go. I finally noticed that that door was, so I just put a tapestry up instead. Ta-da! Problem solved. Now, I think we are just about ready to move on to the first apartment. So the little square that's in behind the bar back, that's going to be the water heater / fuse box area. I haven't quite play tested this build. I will do it before I put it up on the gallery. So it will be play tested by the time you guys watch this video. But yeah, I ended up having to, with the way I built it, I ended up having to have the door going from the outside across the triangle. So I need to play test whether or not it's actually accessible to the water heater and the fuse box, because it would probably be not very good if it wasn't accessible, because then the landlord can't do the maintenance and inspections and stuff, and then kaboom, you suddenly have an explosion. And I don't think anybody really wants an explosion. Anyway, we're moving down to the first level apartment. So we're starting to do the floor plan for that. So it is going to be a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. So these aren't huge apartments by any stretch of the imagination, but they're a good decent size. So I'm going with yellow wallpaper in the first apartment. I've managed to remember the air conditioning, so yay me. And I remembered the water heater, and I remembered the fuse box. So you know what? I am winning in this build, I've got to say. So from here, I'm just doing like a little hall area. So just going to do the hall table and bookshelf and plant and all the little doodads along the way. So just going to have some bits and pieces there. And I had enough room that I could fit in like a seating area in that front hall area too. So the upstairs layout will be similar but a little bit different. Similar but different. That makes so much sense. It is very similar, but it has got slight differences, because in the bottom level it has like the sticky out, but where the bathroom's going to be down here, doesn't stick out so much in the top level, so I had to extend the bathroom a little bit just to give it enough room. But otherwise it's essentially a very similar layout. So gotta put in the geometric rugs on the bottom. Oh man, this kitchen was a nightmare. I just struggled with it. I couldn't get, with the packs that I had, I couldn't get a kitchen that I liked, like the countertops, and because I wanted to use the For Rent countertops, and I don't know, it just wasn't working with the flooring and the wall combination. It was just not doing it for me. So I ended up having to change the flooring, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So there's the color of the whole floor, and then I changed the color of the tiling and went plainer, and I think I might have changed the wall tile in behind as well. I did, yeah. I couldn't make it work. That yellow was actually kind of hard to work with for this build. I don't know. I mean, I like using yellow. It's a good colour, but I did struggle with it a little bit in this apartment. I think, yeah, it's just maybe because it has like a little bit of orange around the bottom, or I'm not really sure. Or just, I think, no, it wasn't so much the colour, it was more that the items that I had to work with it weren't working with it, if you know what I mean. So the counters and the fridges and stuff like that just, yeah, weren't quite working with that yellow as it was. But anyway, I tweaked it and I got there in the end. I did want to use like some more of the geometric patterns and stuff, or the geometric tiling and stuff on the floor, but it's just, honestly, it wasn't working. I couldn't get it to work, so it is what it is. So you can sort of see, you got your kitchen, you got your little dining area, and then you've got your living area in behind that. And I even actually get like a desk in there, and so there's like a little study area too, so it's quite good. I mean, there's all the things in there. You should be able to rent that apartment out, I think, for a good decent amount of money. I mean, there's like lots of little things. You've got everything contained within that one unit, even a separate, bathroom and bedroom. So yeah, I think you can make some good money from this unit. Or you can have a lot of fun renting it out as a tenant. Whatever suits. So I was playing around with this wall, and then I realised that I hadn't put the door into the bedroom. So I had to redo it. So that's what happened there. And that's the bathroom. So I did use the tiling there and just went with all the basics that came with the For Rent pack. But I used the bath instead of the shower because I wanted to fill up the space, I guess. And sometimes it's nice to put a bath in instead. So I did that. But I am using the For Rent toilet, squat toilet, which if you're at all familiar with my building, you know I don't love. And also the sink and the mirror. Just getting in some robes and some towels and just some little knickknacks and stuff just to fill up the space. But I just went with like a little bit of blue for the contrast in this build, so you can see that in the hallway particularly, and in the bathroom, little touches of blue here and there, just to bring out the yellow of it all. So how are we getting on? So we are into the bedroom, and we're getting the lights in, and I'm just working out what's going to go in the corner. So I found this Basegame chair, which actually worked really nicely with the bed and the side tables, and as far as the color of the wood and stuff. So I went with that. So that was a nice little find. So I'll have to keep that in my head for next time. And then I'm just getting a little dresser in there, just working out the wood matching. I was struggling with the matching of the woods with For Rent, just like working out which shade of wood it is. Because I look at it and then I'm just like, oh, what shade is that? Is that the right shade? I don't think that's the right shade. And then, go through the whole process of trying to work out what piece of wood it is. Okay, and then I'm just trying to fill up the wall space essentially, because there was quite a bit of blank wall space and not a lot of room to put like shelves and that sort of thing. So it was very much a case of having to use pictures and wall hangings and stuff, rather than put some lovely shelving up, which I probably would have preferred to do, but there's a giant lack of really thin shelving that you can walk past. Okay, so now it is time to move on to the top apartment. So this is apartment blue and also apartment 2. So upstairs, I'm just figuring out the floor plan. So as I mentioned earlier, because the top area doesn't stick out as far as the bottom area, for the bathroom, as you can see, it's a bit hard to say, but yeah, it's off to the side of the bedroom. It doesn't stick out so far, so I don't have as much room for the bathroom as I would have liked. So I'm actually going to have to squeeze in the hall area and just make that one grid smaller, and then I can extend the bathroom out into the bedroom, so you can see that coming there, and then I'll shrink down the hallway, and that gives me more room for the bed and the bedroom, because it did reduce the size of the bedroom quite significantly having to add that space. But you know, honestly, I didn't need that much space for the hall. I'm just basically using the bookcase to cover up the air conditioning unit. And just, you know, create a little welcome area as well. So this is a lot simpler than the area that we had in the downstairs unit, but I think it still does the job. We're just going to put like a painting on the wall and a mat down the middle, and then I think we can call it a day as far as the whole area goes. There we go. So in this build, we are definitely working with shades of blue. And I'm just going to work through and see what we're going to do with the kitchen. I actually can't remember what I went with in the kitchen. It was definitely the For Rent counter, which you can see going in there in the brown. And I just did exactly the same sort of layout. So we've got the one breakfast nook on the end, and then the oven and stuff going in there. So I went with the silver with the brown edging on it from Basegame for the oven and the fridge. And then just going to create my little dining nook here. So that's the table going in there. So I'm going with I think a mid brown or a dark brown wood as far as the wood contrast goes, the brown and the blue, because I think the blue looks really nice with the dark brown. Oh, and just going to put the kitchen cabinets in here. I forgot those. And I did forget to do decorating in the kitchen. I think I will skip over that, but yeah, I did eventually remember to add in some clutter to the kitchen. I just forgot at the time. But anywho, got there in the end. So just doing the same as what we did in the downstairs, just creating like a little study nook and an entertainment nook. And I've already got a door through to the bedroom because I remembered it this time. Well done me. So I'm just putting some shelving there that came with the For Rent pack. So then I'm just choosing my coucharoo and the color that I'm going with there, and I actually just ended up going with the cream and the brown. The blue just with the red cushions just didn't quite work for the room. I actually bring out the red a little bit in the bedroom, so you'll see that when I do that, but for this room I didn't have any other red, and it just didn't make sense to have the red cushions there. So that is just about basically just about our living room area. I even remember the radiators. I'm very proud of myself for remembering all the little things that you need for a unit. So air conditioning unit, radiator, water heater, fuse box, spirit house. Yay me! So yes, you can see in the bedroom, I chose the bed with like the red cushions in the background. So there's a teeny bit of red coming through, just to mix it up in the bedroom a little bit. So you can see sort of the chairs. I went with red and a little bit of red on the walls as well. It's probably not my favorite combination of colors, but it does work with the bed, and I think it does work in the room and in the context of the build. So I was happy with how that came out. So just doing the sort of little lantern style lamps on the outside, shifting the bathroom door so I can create a dressing nook there. So I'm just going to put in the curtain and then the Tomarang, a lovely mirror there, with a little bit of pieces of clutter. Ugh, that's a mouthful. So once again, I did have like a little bit of wall space to work with, simply because I didn't have the room to put like shelves or anything along there. So it is what it is, and I did what I did. So I found a couple of things in wall hangings that I like. I did struggle a little bit with the art, but we got there in the end. And then, oh yeah, we'll get to choose our lovely geometric rug, and ended up going with that one there. And then it is like a simple 3x2 bathroom, so I just did that with the blue tile and white tile on the wall and kept it pretty simple. So you get all the not Tomarang. I keep calling it Tomarang instead of For Rent. All the For Rent stuff. So just the sink, the toilet, and the shower. And then I'll just add a few little bits and pieces like the robes and the towels in there as well. And then you know what? That's basically it. The top floor, once you've worked out what you're doing on the bottom floor and you can just kind of reflect it in the top floor, it does go a little bit faster than the bottom floor. But yeah, that's it, we're done. Let's take a tour. So this is the front of the area. So like down below you can't actually see how the roof kind of works so much, but I think from further away you can see it like a little bit better. And you got your little pond there at the front and your mailbox, and you're like, I think it's very in keeping with the Tomarang area, and it kind of reflects the plants and stuff that are around and about in this little area and lot. And I do like the yellow with the white and the brown. I think that works really nicely, but I'm glad that I did change the yellow tiling on the floor because that was just a little bit too much. But this should be a really nice unit to rent out, I think, and it should be nice and accessible for a lot of people on the gallery too. So I think I am happy with that. Oh, there's something going on with my foundation under there. I'll have to fix that. I'm just noticing that right now. Oopsie doopsie daisy. That's alright, I still need to play test it. It's fine. And so that is basically our outside. So I think it is just about time to go on the inside. There we go. So there's our first shared area. So this is our tea and coffee area. It's got the games table and the little dining table, TV. So I reckon that would be a really nice little hangout spot for whoever is renting the units. Probably like maybe a couple of couples, or like 2 singles, but maybe they could have friends over a lot. And then moving into the first unit, so this is the yellow and blue unit. So it's all yellow on the walls, and then we're using touches of blue around the place. So I'm much happier with that kitchen and how that turned out. So there we go. I actually put the clutter in. It wasn't until I was taking the photos that I noticed that I had not put any clutter in the kitchen. I was like, there's always something, right? Like when you're building, there's always something you forget. Always. I think I forgot the ceilings as well, but anywho, I'm pretty sure I put them in later too. So this is into our little study nook entertainment area, and then through to our bedroom. And I think that looks quite lovely in the blue and the yellow. It's nice and bright and suits the Tomarang world, I think. So then we are going to be looking into the bathroom in a second. There we go, into the bathroom. And so we've got the bath and the towels and the robes and the squat toilet, which I don't like, and the sinks. And that's pretty basic as far as that goes. So then into our second shared area, you can see the bar there. I love that bar. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Then moving into our second apartment, the blue apartment, with touches of brown and cream. And in the bedroom, a little bit of red too. So I probably prefer the colour of this wall to the yellow. I think that was a little bit easier to work with the furnishings that we got with For Rent, just from my personal perspective. But I think they both look great in the end. But yeah, so same sort of thing. This one gets a little bit of a bigger TV. They got a smaller hall, but they got a bigger TV. So, you know, it all balances out. And then moving around, you can sort of see back through the kitchen and how that all opens up into the space. And then into the bedroom, you can see those touches of red there. So we've done the red on the chair, on the bed, and on the wall. I'm mixing it in with the brown and the blue. And I didn't do too much blue or red, just like little touches of it with the rug as well. I thought that tied in quite nicely. And then last bit, we are going to have a quick look in the bathroom, and then we are done. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.